Oh, yeah. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's great to see every one of you, except for you over there. So once again, protesters attacked expensive pieces of art. And no, I'm not talking about my quads, though they are pricey and worth it. This time, it's an Andy Warhol in Milan, Italy. On Friday, the attention-seeking freaks threw flour on a sports car painted by the pop artist in 1979. Pop artist. Fortunately, the Italian police sprang into action and formed it into a pizza crust. But the event is just another in a trend by young psychotics who vandalize art with food or paint. Although such actions might improve a Jackson Pollock. Little art humor there for all you sophisticates. And does anybody else find it ironic the one piece of art they don't throw soup on is this one? I guess it's redundant. Now, every time we report on this, I get a little angry. But then again, I'm 5'5", so what other kind of angry can I get? But the whole point, but the whole point of this vandalism is to get suckers like me to report on their cause. So let's ignore the cause and focus. Yes. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is. Instead, let's focus on the freaks who destroy their cause with each stunt. They win over no one. For every painting they attack, I'll eat another cow. Hell, I might even push one out of my coal-powered jet. Oh, God. It's gonna be great. They sound they make when they land. Oh. Yeah. But the big story here, it's not just gender that's no longer binary, it's sanity. Those people breaking these laws appear to be certifiable. Look at them. They're madness personified. They're sad and they're gross. If they didn't spend their time throwing vegan corn chowder on Mona Lisa's they'd have no lives at all. Hey. In the old days, they'd be carted off, placed in comfy cells with padded walls. Kat knows what I'm talking about. You know, thank God I helped her get her straight. You're welcome, Kat. But now they're not even bum-rushed by security. Judging by how little effort these guards make, you'd think they weren't protecting a Warhol, but this. I can draw Binky. In fact, you gotta wonder if these aren't inside jobs. I mean, who lets people into a gallery while they're carrying containers of flour or paint cans? Not that art museum guards should be SEAL Team 6, but if you see a bunch of nose-ring green hairs carrying bags of flour or cans of soup or paint, you can bet they aren't there to smile back at the Mona Lisa. Insanity used to be easily defined, but now we redefined unstable behavior as passionate. But you know who else was passionate about the environment? Charles Manson and his passionate family of human scum. Before, we used to look at these people and say, well, that's one point of view. Now relax while some men in white coats chase you with a giant butterfly net. Remember those nets? Those are great. Now it's, wow, they're so dedicated, let's hear them out. They must really believe in this cause, to scream in strangers' faces and smear poop on the walls. Or maybe they're just getting ready to host Jesse Waters' Primetime. That's all you need to do. So we're now at the mercy of scammers and mentally damaged people. These are desperate, isolated souls with no real sense of the world. And they're gaining traction. Joe Biden and his pals at the UN Climate Conference just agreed to pay up to $1 billion in so-called climate reparations to poor nations for damage apparently caused by the West's fossil fuel use. Yeah, let's apologize for raising the standard of living for 90% of the human population on the planet and be punished by the 10% who couldn't keep up. Sorry, world, for the AC, the combustion engine, irrigation systems, sewage treatment plants, dishwashers, electricity. So here's a couple billion while you continue to burn things far worse than coal. And here's the kicker. The world's biggest emitter doesn't have to pay a dime. And no, not Eric Swalwell. It's communist China. And why? Because it's still considered a developing nation. Yeah, that makes real sense. Calling China a developing nation is like calling Dolly Parton a developing female. But let's face it, China's smarter than us. They don't buy into this progressive. They don't see sex as non-binary. As a matter of fact, they see the world as binary as the computer technology they steal from us. They see the world as ones and zeros, and they're the ones and everybody else are zeros. And they laugh at us for falling for this crap. So we've now embraced insanity as an alternative lifestyle. It's the elimination of standards, the destruction of beauty, whether it's in art or one's own body. Activists destroy priceless paintings as easily as they butcher their own healthy bodies. It's like our society is experiencing a sort of a mental illness as a whole. Before, if someone couldn't participate in civilized life, we'd get them help. Now we can't even say who's mentally ill at all, which might be the new definition of crazy. And most of this stuff is coming out of TikTok. And who owns that? China. It's a brilliant strategy, destroy from within, by giving the vacuous West exactly what they can't resist: attention. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She left the sidelines, but still dumps Gatorade on people just for fun. Host of the Sideline Sanity Podcast, Michelle Tafoya. His show is the reason thieves no longer steal car radios. Host of Fox Across America, Jimmy Fallon. He's such a great father, he made sure his kids have 2 Thanksgivings. Actor, writer, and comedian, Jamie Lissow. Don't kill me, Jamie. And you can use your elbows to carve your turkey. Fox News contributor, Kat Tiff. Michelle, it's so, you know, we do these stories a lot about these crazy people, but it really, I think the bigger story is that we don't call them crazy.
You know what? These people remind me a lot of the people I knew or saw on campus at Berkeley when you and I were both there. There were a lot of passionate people there as well. Look, when you do stupid stuff, you look stupid. And when you look stupid, no one takes you seriously. And when no one takes you seriously, you don't gain their allyship. In fact, you lose a lot of people. Yeah. I feel like that's what these people are doing. As for this UN climate reparations, the UN is the most useless body on the planet.
Yeah. And you're saying that. You're saying that in front of Jimmy Fallon.
I'm saying that.
Jimmy.
I didn't say that, Jimmy. He did. But think about the UN Security Council. 2 permanent members of the UN Security Council are China and the Russian Federation. Yeah. I mean, when you think of that, you ask yourself, what is the UN? I went on the UN website today, and this one headline was UN stability signs or something, and I thought, instability. Yes, yeah, it is. It's instability. I mean, it's insane. These reparations are stupid. Who's gonna decide how much, and which countries, and who did what, and which scientist is gonna determine which climate change thing led to this? It's all like this massive virtue signal.
And no science behind it.
Am I allowed to say I hate the UN?
Oh, then I got it. You know what? I think it's more dangerous to say I love the UN at Fox.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, good to see you. You look like you haven't slept in a while.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
That's what I'm going for. It's funny, we do really have 2 Thanksgivings.
Really?
Since the divorce, because that way my wife can be grateful. She doesn't have to look at my face anymore. It makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
These activists are entertaining. I don't relate to them at all. Throwing food on things, gluing themselves to different, you know, whatever, different presentations at museum pieces or whatever. I don't relate to this at all. Like, I would rather that you glued me to the sidewalk so I didn't have to go to the art museum. That's what I was like. Did you see the name? I feel like this was like a joke given to us, but the name of the activist group was Last Generation, which I saw them. No one's banging these girls.
It is true. But you know what kills me about them? They could be attractive, but they hate all, like, you know, patriarchal standards of beauty when in fact it happened before patriarchy. We just like symmetry. We like attractive things. We like paintings. And they hate that.
Yeah, and you're right. And also, like, throwing the food on the car. Like, I feel like if Andy Warhol had put flour on the car, people would have been like, oh, we like your new thing you made.
Yes. It would cost $80 million.
Yeah, they would think it was part of the thing. I feel like abstract art in general was invented when Picasso went, how can I get some money for the I did when I was 3?
It's actually a fair point. I mean, it's really hard to destroy that stuff. It's kind of like your shirt.
Oh, you stop.
Yes.
I actually look like a stripper who gets paid in stuffing. Look at me. This is embarrassing.
I'd say you put the duty in Howdy Doody.
I'll just take it. I'm just going to take it.
I came up with that in the green room. I was pretty proud of it. It's actually a poop joke that's kind of clean.
It's so unlike you.
Yes.
Next thing you know, I'll be talking about cab driving.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell us what you think.
Well, in all honesty, it was nice to see a painter covered in white powder besides Hunter Biden.
There you go.
But what's so ridiculous about this is they're doing it in an art museum where everyone in the museum presumably agrees with them. There's nothing more left-wing than a modern art museum.
Right.
You're not preaching to the choir, you're flowering the choir. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true. In fact, generally the majors for more leftists are art history.
Yeah. Think about that. Like, imagine you were, like, protesting the pro-life movement at the Lilith Fair.
Yes.
Like, duh. They're all on board. And to your point, no one's banging those chicks either. So there you go.
Pro-choice.
Thank you.
Yes.
You got me.
Yes, I got you. I wanted to save it.
No,
Did I not save it?
It was kind of like in between, because the point is they're protesting for a thing everybody agrees with.
Yes.
So it's a little convoluted.
Kat, if people from, like, you know when they always talk about time traveling? If you time traveled from the year 2000, you would be freaked out by now.
Yep.
Because it seems like we have people openly destroying art. We have mobs stealing and never getting punished for it. You have men who identify as women attacking women. It's like, what is going on here? To me, they could all be under the same umbrella, that we've allowed ourselves to abdicate the definition of sanity. What say you, lady in white?
I feel like there's been a lot of misguided shaming and slamming of unstable behavior. Because unstable behavior is not always bad.
Yeah.
It can be effective.
In what way?
Oh, come on, live a little. They're saying the main issue with these kids is that they're unstable. It's not, it's that it didn't work. There was actually an article that was like, here's a list of all the art that climate activists have tried to destroy this year. And there's a lot of scrolling involved in that list. But for just one example, I had a guy that broke up with me. He broke up with me a lot, but this one was really sticking.
Okay.
And he had me blocked on all the things, but then there was, of course, my secret account. So I found out that he'd be performing somewhere. I showed up in the neighborhood looking super hot.
Right.
Was that stable? No. Did he call me the next day? Yes.
Oh.
So we got back together. That was effective. For the goodness of my own life, ultimately not. But these kids aren't, like, when Biden did this, he wasn't like, you know why I did this? It was those hipster soup kids. They're doing all this stuff, and it's not even effective for what they want it to be, and they should be able to realize that by now.
Why do you think Biden is doing it then, for the reparations?
The same reason he does everything. Somebody told him to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, thank you.
On that note. Good answer. Producer, make it sound like I said that. They can do that now. They just change the voice. It's great. I get all the best jokes. Sorry, guys.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.